The drama no one expected is the topic of conversation. The once unbreakable link between Tai and Evelyn has now broken, and the catastrophe unfolding behind the scenes is worse than anybody could have imagined. Due to allegations of betrayal, jealousy, and an unforeseen love triangle, their private argument has turned into a public controversy, and the internet is completely enamored. It all started with the allegations that Evelyn had been getting too close to someone Tai was dating. Fans can't wait to learn who this enigmatic man is. What began as modest social media criticism quickly escalated into a full-fledged dispute, leaving followers stunned by cryptic tweets, erased articles, and even live call-outs. You know exactly what you did. In an extensively circulated tweet, Evelyn retorted to Tai's diatribe, writing, "Don't play the victim when you started the game." Now cameras were rolling, champagne was flowing, and everything looked picture-perfect as Tai, Evelyn, and the rest of the Basketball Wives LA crew celebrated the launch of a new skincare line in downtown Los Angeles. However, beneath the glitter and positive vibes, tension simmered. There was something wrong between Tai and Evelyn. Small glances, forced smiles, and a kind of energy that would blow everything open. The entire BBWLA world is divided. Friend groups are picking sides. And producers the internet went crazy after Tai uploaded a mysterious story a few hours later, saying, "Imagine smiling in my face while texting my man." Within hours, fan pages began searching through old footage, posting side-by-side comparisons, and making assumptions that Evelyn had gone too far with someone close to Tai. According to insiders, things started to fall apart after a certain man, a tall, charming entrepreneur who had recently been seen at several events with both women, entered the picture. The drama had been simmering behind the scenes for months, and fans were unaware that it was not just on social media. Production-related sources said that Evelyn had been feeling sidelined by Tai since the start of season 12 filming, and that Tai had quickly become a fan favorite. Bold, outspoken, and unafraid to call people out. What had started as subtle competition turned personal when Tai began dating a man Evelyn had previously been linked to off-camera. One insider said that Evelyn felt as though Tai was trying to steal her shine and her man, thinking that he was doing it for attention and to maintain her place on the show. "She never mentioned him once," Tai continued, crying, "and now she's trying to make me look like the villain." That is betrayal, not friendship. Evelyn refused to back down, stating, "But when the two eventually met in person at a cast brunch, things took a turn nobody could have imagined." Tai reportedly sobbed when it was never shown. As seen on video, Evelyn leaned forward and took a calm drink of her mimosa. "You knew exactly what you were doing, Tai," she added. "Don't be stupid." The table became silent and Tai's brows furrowed. "Are you serious now? You've been acting like every person you meet is your property. Maybe consider your worries before going there." The damage was already done when the producers reportedly had to step in before the brunch turned violent. The 15-second clip went viral within hours, and fans couldn't believe what they were witnessing. Evelyn calling Tai a snake, Tai throwing her serviette across the table, and both women storming off in opposite directions. The fallout was immediate, with other cast members taking sides and the tension spilling into group scenes that were almost impossible to film. "Please, girl. You don't even need to try that hard to be fake," Evelyn snapped back, rolling her eyes. Then came the shocking turn of events, screenshots of flirtatious messages, late-night meetings, and a conversation that suggested something more surfaced, along with DMs allegedly exchanged between Evelyn and Tai's alleged boyfriend. Although Evelyn never denied the messages were real, her silence only served to fuel the rumors, and fans were divided. Some demanded that Evelyn be held accountable, while others supported Tai, calling her the most genuine character on the show. By the middle of the season, the feud had become the plot, with every incident, confession, and social media post seemingly leading back to the same explosive question: did Evelyn betray Tai over a man? Tai responded to the rumors in a now-dealt "Don't think I'm weak. I've stayed silent out of respect," she said on Instagram Live. Some people are loyal before the cameras roll and the lights go off. Then they suddenly lose track of who helped them. On social media, Evelyn posted an enigmatic comment that read, "True queens uplift, not compete." It was shade, plain and simple. Producers allegedly planned a sit-down scenario as the disagreement escalated in an effort to encourage both ladies to talk things out. However, sources claim that things didn't proceed as expected. With allegations, receipts, and unfiltered emotion, the altercation became heated. While Tai sobbed and said, "I just want the truth to come out," Evelyn left in the middle of the scene. She was unaware that production resumed the following week, but things were anything but normal. The tension between Evelyn and Tai had reached a boiling point, and everyone on set could sense it. Even crew members whispered about the cast's upcoming group trip to Palm Springs, which was supposed to be a restful vacation and a chance to rekindle the spirit after weeks of fighting. The truth was going to get much more ugly than anyone could have imagined because, as one crew member put it, what followed made every other BBWA feud seem like child's play. The stage was set, the cameras were ready, and the love triangle that started with whispers was about to blow up in front of millions of people. Became the scene of one of the most shocking on-camera explosions in Basketball Wives LA history. The atmosphere was thick from the moment Tai arrived at the villa, and Evelyn had already been there, drinking a glass of rosé and acting completely unconcerned, her go-to tactic whenever drama surrounded her. Jackie, who always thought of herself as the peacemaker, tried to break the ice. She smiled nervously and continued, "Ladies, we're here for healing and good vibes." After saying, "Let's leave the past in LA," Tai simply grinned. "Some people live in the past," she said, tossing her bags on the sofa. Evelyn's gaze shifted upward. "And some people live for attention," she said. The peaceful exterior was broken by that one statement. The group supper that evening swiftly devolved into a verbal altarcy. The room was filled with gasps, and Brooke's fork clattered onto her plate. "That's low," Jackie said, looking anxiously at the cameras. "Low!" Tai yelled. "No, Lo has been deceiving me for weeks while acting as if we were great. Despite the fact that you are the one who betrayed me, you have been out here talking like the victim. You had the audacity to pretend to be innocent after having an affair behind my back." Evelyn's voice fell, calm but poisonous. Lo is smiling while texting him in my face. "Good night." There was a brief silence at the table. Every breath had a noticeable amount of tension. Then Evelyn stood up and gave a BBWLA-style hand clap. "Would you want to talk about texting? Let's speak about how you were disparaging me in front of half the cast by saying that I was attention-seeking. The first person to attempt to play me was you." With tears running down her cheeks, not from sadness but from rage, Tai shook her head. You have years of experience doing this. You create chaos, pretend to be a victim, and then walk away as like nothing happened. Not right now." Then producers had to intervene once again. Evelyn ran to her room and banged the door so hard that the crew's boom mic trembled. Tai whispered to Jackie, trembling, "She thinks she can destroy me, but I can prove it." The term evidence made everyone nervous. What proof? Over the course of the next 2 days, rumors started to surface that Tai had screenshots of conversations between Evelyn and the person in question, which stood in stark contrast to what Evelyn had said. According to one source, the messages were more than just flirtatious. They showed him being aggressively courted by Evelyn while he was still with Tai. When asked whether she would consent to production showing them on camera, Tai paused. "I'm not here to make people feel bad," she snapped back. "But if she keeps lying, I won't have any choice. But if she keeps lying, I won't have any choice." Production contacted Tai to ask whether she would be willing to appear on camera. She hesitated. "I'm not here to make people feel bad," she snapped back. "But if she keeps lying, I won't have any choice." However, Evelyn's camp was a mess. She started filming her own confessional pieces, claiming that the screenshots were edited and that Tai was only trying to create a storyline. Evelyn told producers, her eyes glistening, that she wanted to be significant. "I have been a part of this program for over a decade. I know how the game works. She is using me as leverage." But then something unexpected happened. While the party was lounging by the pool one afternoon, production discovered that the main character, the man to whom both women were related, had agreed to speak on camera. He wanted to simplify things. Malik, who was a fitness entrepreneur, had been secretly seeing Tai for some months. Before the repercussions. When Malik arrived on the location to shoot, the mood instantly altered. Evelyn pretended not to care, but her composure crumbled as he walked in. Tai's face could not be deciphered. The producers asked everyone to keep their cool so Malik could explain. He took a big breath and began, "I didn't mean to do any of this. The first person I met was Tai. It was becoming serious. On the other hand, Evelyn and I started talking at a charity event. It wasn't intended to go there, but it did." The space became chilly. Evelyn's mouth clenched. Tai trembled his fingers. "So you confess," Tai said in a whisper. Malik exhaled deeply. "It's not something I'm proud of. I should have been tell each other the truth. I was wrong." Evelyn tried to say something. "It wasn't like that." But then Malik cut her off. "Hurry up. Don't act as if it never occurred. It electrified the air. Evelyn's cheeks reddened as she noticed that the cameras were recording every second. Tai just remained there, staring at Malik with disbelief. "You both lied to me," she said softly. Tai raised her hand and said, "And now you're trying to fix it because the cameras are rolling." Evelyn tried to speak again, but everyone was left stunned as she left with tears streaming down her face. Just don't. In that raw, sincere, and devastating instant would end up being the video that went viral. Fans praised Tai for her strength and criticized Evelyn for her betrayal on social media. Timelines were overtaken for days with hashtags like TA Team Tai and Hari Evelyn exposed. But even as the truth began to come to light, one thing was certain. But it didn't stop there. Evelyn was never one to sit quietly for long. She was willing to alter the whole situation since she had her own story. "Just wait if you thought this was the climax," one producer said. The explosion itself has not yet taken place. The days after Malik's confession were a chaotic chaos, both on and off camera. On social media, videos of Tai exiting the incident became viral, receiving millions of hours and views. It was hailed by basketball enthusiasts as the most genuine moment in the sport's history. Due to her name being extensively published on fan accounts and gossip websites, Evelyn Exposed trended for 3 days in a row. That being said, everyone on reality TV is aware of this one thing. Losing is difficult for Evelyn Lozada. Within 48 hours, Evelyn was back on the internet with a calm, well-planned Instagram Live that resembled a press conference rather than a diatribe. She wore a sleek black top and had her hair done to perfection. "Y'all are only getting half the story. I made mistakes, but I'm not the only one who's been lying." The internet froze, she continued, leaning towards the camera. Her tone was calm but venomous. Tai wants to present herself as an innocent victim even though she has been behaving shadily for months. Within minutes, Evelyn shared a series of screenshots allegedly showing that, despite her public declaration that she was done, Tai had resumed texting Malik after their altercation, even flirting with him. The texts were dated only a week prior, and one of them said, "We can talk when cameras aren't around." Fans bombarded the comments with fire emojis and wide eyes, saying, "And since we're airing things out, maybe it's time I show receipts too." Evelyn was becoming insane. "You see, I still give a damn." The internet exploded. There was a clear split among the supporters, with some accusing Evelyn of fabricating the chats, and others accusing Tai of being cunning and manipulative. Soon after, Tai responded, and then she spoke the words that rocked the internet. "I said I still cared about the person I thought he was," she claimed in a furious Instagram story. "Don't misrepresent my opinions." In an attempt to mediate once more, Jackie organized a group gathering at her home, but everyone knew deep down that this would not end amicably. Evelyn barely said hello to anyone when she arrived, and shortly after, Tai entered with his face icy and sunglasses on. "I'm the truth, and the truth always prevails, even if you're the original. This woman is obsessed with trying to stay relevant," began quietly. "Please, ladies, let's talk like real women. Just the truth, no audience, no cameras." Evelyn cut her off before she could say anything more. Sincerity? It's funny that someone who has been lying since day one would say that. Tai's mouth twitched. "You mean you?" "I mean you, not me," Evelyn shot back. "You have been giving false information to bloggers in an effort to improve your reputation. Do you really think that producers don't tell me what's going on?" Tai stood up. "Evelyn, you've been doing reality TV for too long. The difference between a scenario and reality is no longer discernible. You hurt people to gain influence and call it content." Evelyn laughed. Her tone was sharp and caustic. "You joined for Basketball Wives, not Bible study, my dear." The entire room gasped. Jackie, seemingly at a loss for words, quickly replied, Okay, to defuse the situation. But Evelyn wasn't done. "We are not doing this again." She gave Tai her signature look. "Do you want to talk about betrayal? Let's talk about your attempt to hook up with one of my ex-boyfriends last year. Do you think I was unaware? I didn't care, so I ignored it. You want to act like a saint now, though." Tai's mouth dropped open. "You're lying." "Am I wonder?" Evelyn quickly responded, pulling out her phone because I have pictures. The room fell silent and Brooke muttered, "This is crazy." Evelyn showed blurry pictures of a bar, a dinner, and Tai sitting next to a man she had dated in the past. Was there any indication of a romantic relationship? Not much, but Evelyn knew that perception was important. "That's low, Evelyn," said Tai in a whisper. "You're using old pictures as a weapon to make you," Evelyn remarked as she moved in closer. "No, sweetheart," they murmured, turning to face each other for a moment, inches apart. There was an electromagnetic tension. "Enough! I'm taking back my power. Enough! It's not worth it," Jackie said as she sprang between them. The cameras halted for safety, but sources claim that the ranting did not stop. According to reports, Evelyn threw her phone on the driveway and stormed away once again. After she left, Tai started crying and said to Jackie, "I'm so tired of her twisting everything. I didn't even do anything wrong. Jackie was always practical. In this game, perception is reality, sweetheart. You have to decide what type of truth you can stand. Words cannot always convey what silence can, but the one thing that none of the people in this triangle could maintain was quiet. Because the biggest bombshell hadn't even been revealed, despite producers hinting at it in previews for the next show. But there was still one piece of evidence that might change the entire story. The following morning, headlines exploded. Tai and Evelyn get into a violent altercation. Betrayal, lies, and receipts. Online leaks of the previous night's footage showed snippets of the chaos. Jackie yelling, Tai crying, and Evelyn pointing. Fans were more divided than ever before. The story of Tai and Evelyn was more than just a quarrel between co-stars. It was a full-fledged cultural event, a struggle between pride, loyalty, and the truth. Friendships were split among the fans. There was a scene at the end of the last show that had everyone talking. Tai and Evelyn took a last seat opposite each other on the reunion special. The silence was deafening, the energy was dense, and finally, Evelyn spoke first, her eyes welling with tears when the dust eventually settled. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said quietly. Following a deep breath and a downward glance, Tai stated, "I made bad choices, but I didn't deserve the hate that came with it." Evelyn nodded slowly, her voice trembling. "Then maybe this is our peace," she added. "You hurt me, Evelyn. As a lady, not merely as a buddy. However, I've discovered that forgiving isn't about absolving someone else. It's about liberating yourself." The audience erupted in applause, and even the host looked stunned. It was a rare glimpse of raw emotion, the kind that reminded viewers that behind the drama and shade were real people with real pain. The reunion video immediately went viral and sparked discussions on social media since fans weren't persuaded. While some believed Evelyn showed development, others said Tai was too lenient. But there was no denying that this season had been among the most combustible ever. And just when everyone believed the story was over, a fresh twist surfaced online. Anonymous screenshots revealed that another cast member had been supplying the blogs with speculations. Is it Jackie or someone more intimate than everyone realized? Fans are clamoring on the internet and demanding explanations, because on Basketball Wives LA, every season closes with more questions than it started. Every truce hides another betrayal, and every apology hides a new secret. In your opinion, what really transpired between Tai and Evelyn? Was Evelyn really apologetic, or was that reconciliation moment only for the cameras? Do you believe Tai was too quick to forgive her, or did both ladies need the closure? For more explosive breakdowns, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you appreciate the mayhem, heartache, and unadulterated emotion of Hollywood's most unpredictable reality stars. The tea never stops flowing when it comes to Basketball Wives LA boring. Tea never stops flowing when it comes to Basketball Wives LA boring.